Starting now on Primetime, the administration calls it a rumor, but KUAM News has just the facts about a report made to public health by a local medical clinic. Also, a status hearing with the island's public safety agencies and how they plan to tackle crime and the war on drugs. And we'll report on the second phase of rebuilding the home of the Sharks. Adriana Cotero has the latest from GDOE.
Hafa and good evening, everyone. There are still no confirmed coronavirus cases on Guam. Public Health says a man who reportedly left a clinic yesterday after being told he might need to be isolated to test for possible coronavirus infection has been cleared. Here's more. American Medical Clinic's Dr. Hoa Win says a walk-in patient came in Tuesday with flu-like symptoms.
There's some male patient come in and complain of some URI symptom with fever, chest pain, shortness of breath, and there's a questionable contact with a Chinese national.
Because of that, he was interviewed further, but Dr. Win says the man got frustrated and abruptly left. That's when, according to established protocol, they immediately contacted Public Health. Territorial epidemiologist Dr. Ann Probutsky and Public Health Medical Director Jana Maglonia pick up the story from there.
We received very little information about this patient because we weren't able to contact this patient over the phone. But we finally were able to contact the patient this morning, and the patient was asked to get a prompt medical evaluation.
Patient was fully evaluated by a Guam provider, had a complete history and physical, checked out, and the provider even consulted with the Centers of Disease Control because of the situation that we've encountered, just to be on the safe side, and he was cleared, and he was not a person of interest, not a patient under investigation.
At that point, the case was closed, but we asked, what about information provided to KUAM that the patient's spouse had recently been in Beijing and had just left again for China? Didn't that meet the criteria for further testing? Dr. Maglonia wouldn't comment on the specifics of the case, but
rest assured, the provider investigated everything. So I can't address what you heard. You're the best one to say what you heard, but I can tell you this, the provider assessed everything.
Public Health says so far no cases have been referred to the Centers for Disease Control for coronavirus testing. This includes the 36 or so visitors from China that arrived before the federal travel ban was implemented. Annette Uggan, who's heading up the surveillance team, says they're checking up on them regularly.
Depending on the individual situation, we can do face-to-face daily surveillance, or it can be a phone check.
And what have you done with these 36 or so?
We've done a combination of both.
Public Health is well aware of the community's concerns and how quickly panic can spread. Director Linda DeNorsi promises continued transparency.
We're at the forefront with Public Health to deliver to you the appropriate information as quickly as possible.
And Public Health again reassures that there are no currently confirmed cases of coronavirus. You can watch the press conference in its entirety on our Facebook page or immediately following our newscast right here on KUAM TV. As for what you can do, it's the same thing you would normally do to prevent getting the flu or other respiratory type illness. For example, make sure that your hands are clean and wash them often. Avoid touching your mouth, eyes, or nose if you haven't washed them. Stay away from people who are sick and stay home if you feel under the weather. It's also a good idea to get a flu shot. The Guam Police Department goes before the Public Safety Committee for a status hearing today. Chris Barnett files this report.
Guam cops going before Legislative Public Safety Chair Senator Pito Terlahi discussing a variety of topics, including the Guam Police Department's active shooter response training. Major Manny Chong.
The reality is we only have so many officers. However, if the call of an active shooter comes down, every police officer should drop what they're doing and respond to that active shooter incident. Okay? The reality is people may die. But what the Guam Police Department is going to do is make sure that we minimize that death rate. Okay? So, if an active shooter happens right now, okay, that means somebody has been shot or gunfire has gone off. Okay? There may be a victim. But we will all run out there, try to find that guy, and make him see his maker maybe.
Chief Steve Ignacio telling the committee his department expects to graduate 21 new officers in late February, and interviews for a new police cycle in August are also being conducted now. Because some officer trainees were able to be paid with federal grant funds, Ignacio said more local money is being freed up to hire more cadets for the new police cycle. Ignacio admits GPD is stretched thin with manpower. When the judiciary of Guam pulled its school resource officers out of public schools, Ignacio said GPD picked up the slack left behind by the courts and now tries to maintain a presence during peak times on school days. GPD also received a $300,000 appropriation for the Safe Schools Initiative, which Ignacio said helps offset the cost of adding schools to patrols. Ignacio also pushed for the governor's public safety plan in the hearing, stumping for the Magahagas plan to build a Jigo police precinct.
There's a lot of activity going on in the northern area, so we believe that it's time for us to really explore and be serious about building a new Jigo precinct.
It's no secret the department is suffering from major shortages that have affected response times and even the department's ability to investigate crimes and whether they're able to respond at all. Island crime has made headline after headline, but Senator Terlahi reiterated he has GPD's back.
This is going to be a real quick status hearing because I know that the police department and the Department of Correction have been doing what they need to do, so it's going to be short.
Meanwhile, Chief Ignacio was asked if he was satisfied with the budget the legislature gave the department last fiscal year.
The Guam Police Department could always use more money, and taking all things into consideration, whenever there's an opportunity for us to get more money, of course it is a welcome to the Guam Police Department. It allows for more recruitment and getting more officers out on the street.
The governor's budget plan for 2021 includes a $2.3 million increase for the Guam Police Department. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The Department of Corrections also went before the committee. Warden Alan Borja is back on the job after he was transferred to the Department of Parks and Recreation while the escape of 2 inmates was under investigation. Acting prison head Joe Carbolito did not confirm if Borja was cleared by the investigation, saying it was a personnel matter. Victims now have the option to receive notifications on defendants with open cases in Superior Court. The Office of the Attorney General announces the launch of the Victim Information and Notification Every Day, or VINE program. By registering on vinelink.com, victims can be notified via phone call, text message, email, or check online for updates. Attorney General Levin Camacho held a press conference to demonstrate how the service works, pointing out that the real-time information cannot be provided.
What will happen is our advocates or our prosecutors or staff will be at court. Something will happen. They will come back. They will input, and then it will be uploaded to the VINE system. One thing that we did want to make sure that we did provide for, though, is when a court orders that a defendant is either released or confined. So once that is ordered by the court, our advocates can call, but they also will input it as an entry, and then a victim will receive notification through the method that they have selected.
Victims will also be notified if cases are canceled or rescheduled. VINE is currently offered in 48 states, with Guam being the first territory to introduce this system for victims. VINE can be accessed on vinelink.com, VineLink app, or call 1-877-484-8463. Police responded to an injured person case and found a lifeless man in a parked truck in Pneumatic this morning. GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao says he's aware of photos of the incident circulating on social media. He says the photos did not originate from any GPD personnel who responded to the incident. The Guam Power Authority is investigating an incident that occurred this morning at the PD power plant after a single pad mount transformer at the GPO PD substation caught on fire. Guam Fire Department responders from the southern stations responded at 10:51 a.m. and extinguished the blaze, waiting minutes after GPA personnel isolated the power to the unit. GFT Southern District Commander Captain Ronnie Chigina.
About 10 minutes before GPA actually de-energized the system, where we finally applied water to extinguish it at 11:02, put out the fire within 3 minutes.
GPA Assistant General Manager of Operations Melinda Mofna says they energized an alternate power source at the location. With all operations continuing as normal, no injuries were reported. A shelter-in-place procedure was initiated at a Stumbo Elementary School just before 10 this morning. The Dededo precinct received a call of a female threatening the campus. Police responded and an all-clear was given at 10:40 a.m. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the island. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Rananim, ite Senator Clint Rogel. Soon the 2020 Census of Guam teams will be visiting your homes. Let's all help them collect the information they need to create more jobs, better education, and accessible health care for our clans, our families, and our fellow Micronesians. Ini kitchon wesen nonomlon kwam eupung pue sipue pal fitele makalong lonai maken iteyen chochon aramas. Together we can lift each other up and help shape a better future for all. Kiniso chapur.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. The Jonia Municipal Planning Council, appointed by former Mayor Jesse Bloss from a jail cell, is being sworn in at this hour at the Jonia Mayor's office. Bloss is facing federal drug charges, but Attorney General Levin Camacho's legal opinion on the MPC held that he still had the authority to appoint the council, even while in pretrial detention at the Hagatna lockup. The appointees are Maria Castro, Paz Cruz, Pedro Guerrero, Rose Guerrero, David Sayama, Daniel Tidingfong, Charlene Tenorio, and Brian Terlahi. Senator Jose Pito Terlahi was also appointed by Bloss, but later declined, saying it was a conflict of interest. Bloss resigned last week, and a special election will be held to fill the vacancy. Another 300 checks for adjudicated war claims will be cut and released this week. Adelup says recipients should have been contacted today. The checks will be available on Thursday and Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Guam War Claims Processing Center in Tamuning. What's not picked up will be mailed out. Verified claimants must bring a valid photo ID and verify their social security number. Those picking up a check on behalf of a claimant must bring a valid photo ID of themselves, power of attorney, and verify the claimant's social security number. More checks are expected to be cut as the U.S. Department of Treasury continues verifying claims through the local program. Also, homebound services are ongoing. To schedule, call 482-0792. President Trump addressed lawmakers and the nation in a State of the Union speech the White House titled The Great American Comeback. The president outlined his achievements on the eve of Senate votes in his impeachment trial. CBS's Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States. President Trump walked into the House chamber where he was impeached in December to deliver his third State of the Union address.
Our country is thriving and highly respected again.
The president made no mention of his impeachment trial, which is headed toward a likely acquittal in the Senate on Wednesday. Instead, he stayed focused on his administration's achievements like the economy.
If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success.
President Trump touted military successes, like the killing of Iran's top general and the appointment of conservative judges.
We have confirmed a record number of 187 new federal judges to uphold our Constitution as written.
President Trump also presented the Medal of Freedom to conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh, who is being treated for stage 4 lung cancer. President Trump also discussed outstanding priorities like infrastructure and lowering the cost of prescription drugs.
Get a bill on my desk and I will sign it into law immediately.
House Democrats chanted H.R. 3 in support of their prescription drug bill. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and dozens of Democratic women wore white in honor of the suffragist movement. A handful of their party colleagues boycotted the address.
Back here at home, entering phase 2 on the rebuild of Simon Sanchez High School, KUAM's Adriana Cotero speaks with Guam Department of Education Superintendent John Fernandez for the latest update.
By the end of this month, when it comes down to putting your name on the dotted line, that money needs to be secure.
Once a contractor is signed on for the Simon Sanchez High School rebuild project, the underlining matter is having the funding secured.
We do have a commitment from the governor and from the legislature that once we get that contract done, which we hope to be this month, that the appropriate funds will be loaded into the right places to ensure that we're able to go.
According to Guam Department of Education Superintendent John Fernandez, there is $1.1 million reserved for the construction and financing. However, by the time the contract is signed, the department needs to certify that funding. And another issue?
We won't really know the exact amount. We've been working with an estimate of $4 million, and the governor has already committed 1.1, so we were really trying to find that 2.9. And we have a set of options that we're looking at, but we really won't know the final cost until we're done with negotiations.
Despite long-standing problems with funding, the project is still moving forward into phase 2. This is the procurement process that begins the design work of the school. GDOE issued a solicitation for proposals back in December 2019, and by the January 23rd deadline, they received between 5 to 10 proposals that are now being evaluated.
What we do is rank the proposals, and then with the highest qualified offerer, begin negotiations.
Fernandez says they anticipate having the evaluations completed by the end of this week, in order for negotiations to begin and officially enter into a contract with the winning bidder by the end of February. While SSHS is in need of an entire rebuild, as KUAM has recently reported, there are multiple other schools in the community dealing with major repairs of their own, and in fear of their campuses becoming like the home of the Sharks. And 7 years ago, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers met with GDOE and documented $90 million in deferred maintenance.
$90 million in deferred maintenance, although we've done our best to try to catch up with some of those projects, including money from U.S. Department of Interior, about $5 million to try to address things like awnings and electrical and fire alarms and so forth. That still leaves a big chunk left to fund. We're not going to be able to fund that through the operating budget that we get on an annual basis from the legislature. What it's going to take is a long-term dedicated source of funding.
Funding, the conversation that continues with GDOE and executing officials.
Where can we get a dedicated source of funding that we can use, borrow against, and really leverage to fix all the other schools?
Fernandez adds that one option up for discussion as a long-term solution is the solar energy bill. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Coming up, Dave Delgado in local sports. Keep it here.
What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it.
Agent Alpha. In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired.
Agent Alpha. Yes!
Hold up, stop.
What?
You sure you want to do this? Because once you take that bite, there's no turning back to breakfast like this. Nope. Or this. Ooh. Or this.
Wow.
It's time to change your life. For breakfast. With freshly prepared, buttery, crispy McChicken biscuits and savory sweet chicken McGriddles. Now at McDonald's nationwide. Wake up breakfast.
excited to introduce Cars Plus 2.0 as we celebrate our 20th anniversary. Every moment has led us to push the standards of the automotive experience, from our state-of-the-art facility to world-class products. And now, we're proud to launch Guam's first and only lifetime warranty. Head on down to Cars Plus and ask about our lifetime warranty. We're driven by you and driven to be better.
Shell's Million Miles giveaway is back, and we're giving 100,000 United Mileage Plus miles to 10 lucky winners. You can jet off to Japan, break away to LA, or even sightsee in Paris. So, how do you make your getaway? Just use your Lucky 7 card when you fuel up with 7 gallons or more, and you're automatically entered to win. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start planning your new adventure. No purchase necessary. Some conditions apply. See store for details.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. In studio, men's national basketball team captain Will Stinnett. Now, we're talking about the upcoming FIBA Asia Cup, and Guam is going to be facing Hong Kong first.
That's the breaking news right now. We're going to be hosting Hong Kong coming on February 20th, Thursday. Game's going to be at 7. So originally scheduled, we're supposed to fly out to Hong Kong and play over there, but with the coronavirus going on, they opted to let us host the first game. So Hong Kong will be coming out here, so we'll be playing our first home game Thursday, and about 3 days later on Sunday we get to host New Zealand.
And let's talk about ticket sales. They're not selling tickets for the game, but it's going to be free for kids.
So with just the last second, development for the Hong Kong game, all students, middle school, elementary, high school, everybody's free. We're not selling tickets to the Hong Kong game, but if you do want to pay for a ticket, it's $10 at the door. The cool thing about it is if you already have purchased a ticket for New Zealand, you can just show your New Zealand ticket at the gate and you'll be free for that game. So it's basically getting a 2-for-1 special. We're trying to pack the place out and just kind of show, the visiting countries the support that we have.
And when can we expect the full national team on island and practicing at the National Training Center?
Full squad will be coming together about a week before the tournament, but starting, this Sunday, Ernest Ross, one of our, better players on the wing, comes in Sunday, and then everybody starts coming in. Jericho Cruz is set to come in next week, Curtis Washington later next week. So slowly we're assembling the team and just getting ready for the biggest game that we've ever had on Guam internationally. So it's exciting.
I read the story on the FIBA site. Hong Kong's pretty motivated and excited to come out here and play us.
You're talking about, ranked countries in the world. These are all professional basketball players that are going to be coming out here. So it's the highest level that we're going to host, and it'll just be exciting. Real pros coming out here. They're excited. They want to win. There's a lot on the line. This is the first step to qualifying for the Olympics and just getting out of the Asia region and competing against the world. So a lot on the line for everybody.
And one of the key players on that Hong Kong team interviewed EJ. He said this guy can hit a shot anywhere on the court.
That's what they're saying. So come in, we take pride in our defense. So we've been doing our scouting reports, seen a lot of video of this guy. He's about 6 feet maybe, and just, kind of lights out. But, we'll get into him and see what kind of challenges we could, present him.
And for the Guam team not having to travel and really look to hold it down on the home court, what's the mindset and what's the atmosphere like on the team?
Everybody's excited. We've been waiting to, play a game of a high caliber on Guam. We've been going off island and, showing what Guam's about. So being able to host the country and having a team here, we're excited. Everybody's excited, and just to perform in front of, the kids and the people of Guam will be, got us motivated, and just to prove everybody that we're top dogs in this region.
And we're riding a pretty good streak, back-to-back gold medalists at the Pacific Games, sweeping in Thailand for the opening of the Asia Cup. So a lot of bright things looking in our future.
Huge thing, I think, right now, we're in international competition. We're about 26-0. So, we're trying to keep that streak alive and get it to 28-0. New Zealand's going to be tough. They all pros too. They're ranked 24th in the world. So it'll be exciting. These are real basketball players that do it for a living. So just to kind of test ourselves, small island going up against a big country, be exciting.
All right, well, thanks for coming on the show. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Based on the blockbuster that has critics craving. It's the all-new Buffalo Chicken Nacho Fries, topped with shredded chicken and drizzled with tangy buffalo sauce. Bring home this mouth-watering sequel with Taco Bell delivery.
Hot down, bouncing down the sidewalk, buzzing like a snare. Cool down, down by the river with the flowers in your hair. And I know everywhere you go, your love is gonna shine. Your love is gonna shine.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All right, everybody, on February the 5th, here is your midweek edition of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. So, happy birthday to Nevea Kanata, who I was just told, whose first name is actually Heaven spelled backwards. That is super, super awesome. Juliet Rose Cruz Mesnion. Happy birthday to my beautiful sister who lives in Killeen, Texas. Lots of Chamorros out there. I love and miss you, says your favorite sister, Percy Manabusin, and the family, and then they put the kissy kissy emoji. Awesome. Bertha Rosalind has birthday number 65 today, and she gets love from her entire family. They all made sure we said that. And a happy belated birthday wish, because born on the 2nd is David Blas Espinoza. David celebrates happy birthday number 75. The entire village of Santa Rita is sending their very best birthday wishes and love from the family on Guam and in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hope each and every one of you have the best birthday ever.
Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and your birthday. And that'll do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Good night, everyone.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Visit GESIGuam.com or call 647-8111 for more details on how we can help your business save money.